Chapter 1, A Court of Blood and Bindings. Short summary. 20-year-old Emelin, nicknamed M, has abusive parents that she wants to get away from. Unfortunately, she can't afford to, which is something that many millennials and Gen Z will find extremely unrelatable, I'm sure. M has forbidden magic that she has been told to hide her entire life. There's a bit of a chosen one vibe going on already. The chapter ends with her being gaslit by her father. She claims she saw a Fey executioner land in their backyard, but her father says that's impossible because they just built an iron ward around the island to keep Fey out. The setting is an archipelago. Emelin lives on a small island named Cathra. Humans are under oppression by their Fey rulers, forced to pay high taxes, but without receiving any actual benefits for the taxes paid. Instead, their tributes only serve to enrich the wealthy and cruel Fey rulers. As an American, I can only imagine what that feels like. Truly an imaginative work of fiction that helps me escape reality. Anyways, M desperately wants to leave the island but can't afford to, and at the end of the chapter, she gets her first glance of MMC, a silent, beautiful, and extraordinarily dangerous Fey named Creon. Detailed summary. Our main character, 20-year-old Emelin, nicknamed M, is working feverishly in the basement, keeping her father's painting business afloat. No island pun intended. Ulda is pregnant with her second already, Mother had told me yesterday, her lips tight with annoyance. And she's younger than you are. Her parents are upstairs arguing about her, and they are generally unhappy they haven't been able to get rid of Emelin by marrying her off to some local yokel. Several tensions are established in this first chapter. First, her penny-pinching father has a big business deal coming up, and he's already looking to blame Emelin if he fails, saying she will embarrass him and jeopardize his business. Second, M's parents are abusive, starving her and criticizing her for not being a human incubator, and also because she possesses forbidden Fey magic. It's implied that if the villagers found out she has Fey ancestry and magical Fey power, it would lead to the ruin of her and her parents. This is a plot hole because in Chapter 4 it's revealed that everyone knew she has forbidden Fey magic, and they all hated and feared her because of it. Kind of like Naruto having the Nine Tails chakra sealed in him, except imagine his parents are alive and mad that he isn't pregnant yet. Well, my father snapped, it won't be much of a party for her either if she accidentally obliterates the buffet tables, will it? Her father is worried she will lose control of her magic, as she has done in the past. He doesn't mean obliterate the buffet tables like a competitive eater would. Continuing, M is sad about the economy not working for her, but can't do anything about it, since her parents are looking for any excuse to deduct her pay and continue exploiting her until they find a way to get rid of her. Her parents call her upstairs to conclude their argument, and she volunteers to stay home on the day of the festival to avoid causing anyone trouble, even promising to do extra chores to placate her parents. Her parents are happy with her white lie. Is a lie only harmless when it's white? Is it a coincidence that the wealthiest and safest human city in this book is called White City? Some questions are best left unanswered. On the day of the festival, she finishes all her chores early, but she tries to stay busy to avoid the bad thoughts. My absence, if it had even been noted, didn't seem to bother anyone in the slightest. While preparing more paints for her father's business, she accidentally stains her dress red. To avoid her parents freaking out, she's going to do the one thing they forbid her to do: magic. It makes sense if you don't think about it. Since she really needs the money, she has to compromise her morals and do something forbidden. But I would lose those coins. Not in that way. She's just going to magically do the laundry, of course. She wasn't going to be happy if she came home to find the tunic ruined, not happy at all. I was no longer the little girl she'd send to bed without dinner. She couldn't set on me with a dust beater anymore. There was no reason to be scared. She uses her magic to leach the red paint from her dress, transforming it into a destructive magical bolt, aiming it at a nearby pot and shattering it. Why does she have to destroy a pot with her magic? Why not a bush or blade of grass or dirt? Anyways, colors are like fuel which can be spent. Red paint is fuel for destruction magic, blue is for healing. She uses blue to mend the pot. Also, if she doesn't exhaust a color, it restores itself. Infinite energy glitch, I guess. But I had to be sure I'd exhausted the color from my clothes entirely so it couldn't come back. A partly used pink, no matter how faint, would restore itself in a matter of hours, proving exactly what rules I had violated to get rid of it. Only a fully depleted surface would remain white forever, as I needed it. I'm not going to touch her comment about how white is right, but it's too bad she didn't use her blue healing magic to become the village doctor. I feel like that would have made more money than mixing paints in her father's basement. Blue for healing. I should be able to fix this. While she's doing her forbidden magic in the privacy of her completely open backyard, a tall fey male with wings suddenly lands. He's dressed like a Reaper main from Overwatch in all black. The stranger was tall, with an advantage of at least 6 inches over me. She recognizes him as the Silent Death. She should be terrified, but he's so dang sexy. They call him the Silent Death, the mother's executioner, because he kills without sound and leaves none capable of speaking in his wake. Maybe because he's wearing all black and he's a little dark-skinned, and she's just a young girl from a small town, she bravely offers him some grape drink. It's warm and you must have been flying for a while. I should have some cool grape juice left. She notices that he could definitely work as a door greeter for Abercrombie & Fitch if he ever gets tired of the serial killer thing. His face was a thing of impossible beauty, like an overly favorable painted portrait come to life. All sharp angles, all unreadable shadows. High cheekbones, hard lips. A star line of ink ran through one dark eyebrow, like a scar marked for eternity. Without saying a word, the tall, tatted winged supermodel flies off, having seen her forbidden magic. Realizing the Iron Ward everyone is celebrating actually does nothing to keep Faye away, Em is freaking out and runs to tell everyone. She finds her father and interrupts his important business deal, just as he predicted. She gets the main character treatment. Instead of being distracted by the celebration, everyone in town stops to laugh at her. Nobody believes her, and her father calls her crazy. "You embarrassed me, Emelin." Doing the math, we can calculate that if M has an average walking speed, that's about 9 miles or 14.5 kilometers. In a square, it'd be roughly 2.25 miles per side of the square, or 3.6 kilometers squared. Pedantic side note, islands are notorious for having a lack of building resources, especially metals like iron. Now, I can believe a hot, tatted winged supermodel Faye flew out of the sky, but I just can't believe the villagers found 9 miles worth of iron on an island. If they're under embargo by Fae oppressors, it can't be imported either. The chapter ends with Emelin questioning her sanity. Unfortunately, she can't find any gap in the barrier to prove her hypothesis. But what she can do is go to sleep thinking about how hot the Fae guy is. And yet I had seen the bastard. No amount of smothering warmth could have made me imagine something so perfectly frightening, something so hauntingly beautiful. When sleep finally found me, I dreamt of swooshing velvet wings and dark eyes so bottomless they might lead straight to hell. Throughout the book, their dynamic is that he's corrupting her and she's redeeming him with her innocence and goodness. That's why she phrases it as his eyes will lead her straight to hell.